Jon Janes recently finished a 51-year career in television news, a career that found him working or consulting in 18 U.S. cities, interacting with some 700 news anchors and reporters. He was the longest-serving news director at WIBW TV in Topeka, Kansas. He retired just 2 months short of 24 years in June of 2023. Adding it up, Jon assumed ultimate responsibility for more than 33,000 hours of news produced at WIBW TV during his tenure. Under Jon's direction, the station won 3 Midwest Regional Emmy Awards and numerous Kansas Association of Broadcaster News Awards. Jon's leadership contributed to WIBW, winning Kansas Association of Broadcasters Media Market Station of the Year 11 consecutive years. Jon served in the U.S. Air Force for 3 years and is a Vietnam-era veteran, serving a year at Udon Royal Thai Air Force Base in Thailand in 1973 and 74. Before Jon's WIBW career, he was a news photographer in San Diego, California, an Iowa State House bureau chief, a news director covering news in Missouri, Illinois, and Kentucky, a corporate news consultant for 6 television stations, and an executive producer in a Minneapolis-based nationwide cable news service. Jon received his broadcast journalism degree from the University of Iowa and a master's degree from San Diego State University, where his thesis was entitled Public Attitude Toward Television Coverage of Student Protest. Published in 1972, his thesis was based on his experience as a reporter-photographer covering Vietnam protests at the University of Iowa in May 1970. Jon and his wife, Linda, have been married for 30 years and have 4 adult children and 8 grandchildren. One of the highlights of Jon's tenure at WIBW was that Linda worked with him at the station for 10 years as a sales assistant and receptionist. Of course, we can't talk about Jon without mentioning his love of whiteboards. It was just one of the quirks that made him such a memorable and effective leader.
Jon was the ultimate multitasker. He always had to be doing something.
Hey there, I'm Starsky. Funny is the word that comes to mind about Jon. He always had this wicked sense of humor.
For all of these attributes and a few inside jokes, congratulations, Jon. Welcome to your well-deserved place in the Gold Circle.
In all of my TV jobs over 51 years, my biggest reward was recruiting, hiring, and training numerous young journalists right out of college and watching them achieve their goals in a TV news career. And after working in 18 cities, the stories are endless. The news anchor and sports anchor fistfight in the newsroom in Minnesota. My weekend anchor in Missouri who fell in love with a federal penitentiary inmate and married him. That extremely close call after trying to get in front of a West Coast wildfire. Shooting film at the last basketball game of UCLA coach John Wooden in 1975, and sneaking past President Gerald Ford's entire Secret Service detail in order to get a close-up video of his Air Force One departure from San Diego. And at WIBW TV on May 23, 2012, a mentally disturbed man smashed through the glass front door of the station, rushed through the building, assaulting 5 employees until 8 of us tackled him and held him down until police arrived. That became a nationwide story for several days. The assault and following court trial is an experience I will never forget. Honestly, I think I could still be working in a newsroom today. But in early 2023, I came to realize that the first news people I had hired had retired. Secondly, I had always used humor in my management of young people, but suddenly my dad jokes had become granddad and then great-granddad jokes. It got worse. I realized that not only was I older than WIBW TV, but also older than the oldest TV stations in Oklahoma, Nebraska, Colorado, and other nearby states. And last but not least, as I sat in my recliner one evening, I had a flashback to my youth and realized that when I was a freshman in high school, Donald Trump was a sophomore and Joe Biden was a freshman in college. I knew then I just had to be the first of that trio to call it a career. I can't say enough about all the wonderful people I worked with in all those cities, especially at WIBW TV in Topeka and parent company Gray Television, the last TV family of my career. And thank you again to the Heartland chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences for this Gold Circle honor.
We welcome Jon Janes into the Heartland chapter's Gold Circle. Congratulations, Jon.